The desert keeps secrets, but not forever. Beneath the burning sands of ancient Sudan, archaeologists once uncovered a bronze face staring up at them, its gaze proud, unyielding, almost defiant. It was the face of Emperor Augustus, ruler of Rome, master of the known world. But this was no statue honoring his glory. This was a head torn from its body, carried hundreds of miles from Egypt, and buried deep under the stone steps of a sacred Kushite temple. Every man, woman, and child who came to worship here unknowingly ground the emperor's image beneath their feet. It was more than revenge. It was a declaration, a message so bold, so impossible, that it could only come from one person, Kandaka Amanirenas, the warrior queen who dared to wound Rome itself. The year is 25 BCE. Rome has just crushed Cleopatra, claimed Egypt, and extended its shadow across continents. Emperor Augustus sits on his marble throne, draped in purple, certain that no one can challenge him. Then a messenger arrives from the south. The gift he carries is strange, a bundle of golden arrows. "If you want peace," the messenger declares, "these arrows symbolize our goodwill. If you want war, you will need them." It is not a threat from a distant tribe. It is a dare from the kingdom of Kush, an ancient African superpower ruled by Kandaka Amanirenas, the one-eyed warrior queen. Rome had never faced anyone like her. Tall, fierce, wrapped in lion skins, Amanirenas led an army not of mercenaries, but of her own people, archers whose arrows could pierce Roman armor from incredible distances. She was not fighting for expansion, she was fighting for survival, and she would strike first. With Rome's legions distracted by campaigns in Arabia, Amanirenas seized her moment. 30,000 Kushite warriors swept north into Roman-occupied Egypt. The attack was brutal, surgical. Siena, Philae, Elephantine, city after city fell. Roman garrisons were slaughtered. Statues of Augustus were ripped down, and one of them, a bronze head, was taken back to Kush. It was not mounted on a wall as a trophy. It was buried beneath the steps of a temple so that every citizen, every priest, every barefoot child would grind the emperor's face into the dust. Rome's reply was swift and merciless. Augustus sent his governor, Gaius Petronius, with 10,000 infantry and 800 cavalry. Their orders: crush Kush, burn their cities, break their spirit. They stormed Napata, one of Kush's sacred cities, burning its temples and enslaving thousands. Smoke and screams filled the desert air. But Amanirenas was no fool. She had withdrawn her forces before the Romans arrived. "Let them think we're broken," she told her generals. "Then we strike." Her counterattack came at Primis. At dawn, the Romans awoke to a storm of arrows raining from the cliffs. War elephants charged, Kushite swords clashed against Roman shields. And in the chaos, Amanirenas herself fought in the thick of the melee until a spear struck her face, blinding her right eye. She did not retreat. Standing bloodied, her single eye blazing, she roared, "Fight! For Kush! For freedom!" Her troops fought harder, but the Romans' siege engines and discipline began to turn the tide. Amanirenas ordered a retreat, knowing this was not the final battle. Weeks later came her darkest day. During the siege of Dacca, as Kushite warriors battered Roman walls, a javelin struck her son and co-ruler, Prince Akinidad. She reached him just in time to hear his last words. "Mother, fight on." His death could have shattered her. Instead, it became the fire that would burn Rome's ambitions to ash. For 3 years, neither side could claim victory. Rome could not conquer Kush. Kush could not drive Rome entirely from Egypt. Both empires bled soldiers and treasure into the Nile's sands. Finally, Augustus agreed to negotiations. When Amanirenas' emissaries arrived, they did not kneel. They delivered her terms plainly. Kush will bow to no man, not even Caesar. And Rome agreed. The Treaty of Samos was signed. Rome withdrew to the First Cataract. The taxes on Nubian lands were cancelled. Kush remained free. In Meroe, celebrations roared through the streets. The bronze head of Augustus still lay beneath the temple steps, worn smooth by countless feet. It had become more than a relic. It was a daily act of rebellion. Years later, when Amanirenas stood on those steps, she looked out over her city and said, "Let the world see what we have done. This is not just our story, it is our legacy." But here's the twist the museum label doesn't tell you: that bronze head you see in London today, the one tourists photograph, the one under the glass, is not there because the Romans won it back in battle. It's there because the Kushites, centuries later, chose to trade it away, not as tribute, not as defeat, but as a message to the modern world. Remember who we were. Remember who stood against Rome. And if you ever forget, look into Augustus's eyes and know that once